Hi everyone, welcome back to College of Lore's actual play podcast YouTube video thing. I am Cass, with College of Lore, if you couldn't guess.
I am the penitent, and I'm playing 6 characters.
And you are also with College of Lore.
Right,
Don't forget, we have to say that every time just so everyone is aware that nothing has changed.
that I have not been fired
You have not been fired. I
yet.
have not been fired yet. Neither of us have been fired yet. Which is good news, because we really like doing this. So, we had an interesting final scene in the last session of our actual play.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to talk about that a little, but Oxford, I believe you wanted to have some friends meet some new friends. In both directions, maybe.
Yes.
Okay.
Oxford did want that.
So Kella, as she has introduced herself to you, has scuttled off to get the rest of her friends. The rest of them will introduce themselves when you meet them. You actually probably already knew her name. But no one else did. Her name is Kella. For those of you who don't know who the fuck we're talking about. She is a canon character in the books, but not in
I
Curse of
forgot
Strahd.
that.
Yeah, not in Curse of Strahd, and certainly not the way we play her. So don't worry, everything is totally different. You don't need to know who she normally is. She's great. She's one of my favorite NPCs ever.
I recognize the name, and I'm like, what? But yeah, no.
Yeah, no, we know who Kella is because we use her in a lot of home games, but she is not the character that is in the module that she is in. She is very different from that.
I had entirely forgotten about that.
I forget all the time that she's actually in source books. Anyway, your friend, your good friend Kella, your little baby friend Kella, has run off to get the rest of her little kind of adventuring party is a strong word. Her squad. Her combat squad. And where did you tell her to meet you? Because they can't see the house. Are you gonna meet them in the street? That's kind of risky.
There was an alleyway that I was in.
There was, yeah. You
Yeah,
kind of stepped
alleyway,
quicker.
I think.
Alright, you guys are just gonna kind of meet in a dingy alleyway in the back streets of Valaki. That's
Yes.
awesome.
I'm gonna summon my party.
You were going to do that. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Summon your party.
I returned to them.
The were-ravens that they've kind of been waiting for your return, everyone has.
Oxford kind of looks at them. I believe I've smoothed things over with that group. I believe they shouldn't be a threat to us, and we might be able to work together.
You plan on working with these people?
If they're agreeable.
Wait, hang on. I have the same question. We plan on working with these people? Didn't they threaten to kill us already? Irina is not entertained by this prospect. Did they not, threaten to, murder us in our sleep or something, and now we're just gonna trust them?
The enemy of my enemy.
Okay, but how do we know that they're not also our enemy, and they're secretly working with Strahd or something? We don't know. We don't know what they want.
It's worth talking to them.
Man, I guess. If we have to. I don't trust them. I don't like that they were, watching us. That feels weird.
Sure how much I trust them either, but it may be worth hearing them out.
I guess.
If you're sure, I'll trust your judgment. I am.
I guess we're trusting judgment. Yeah. You guys, you are all okay with that? You're all on board?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think we all are.
Awesome. Then you all can kind of move your way out of this house, kind of being careful just in case, and back into this little alleyway that, Oxford talked to her little friend in.
This is where we're meeting them? Terry asks.
Yeah, this is I'm less and less comfortable with this the more we take steps toward this.
Because of the guards, yes.
Okay, that's fair, but why Can we not just leave? The town and talk to them not here? I guess not. I guess there are guards there too.
Yeah.
Fuck! This sucks! Okay, I guess we're meeting these weird people that have threatened to kill us in this weird dark alleyway in the middle of the night. This is not weird or suspicious at all. Are you sure you're not, being mind-controlled or something right now?
I am positive.
Would you say that if you were being mind-controlled? Irina, my beloved.
I probably would, yes.
Well, that's stupid. How am I supposed to trust you then? Whatever. Fine. Where are they anyway? Are they coming or?
Yes.
Yes, we are. And it is at this point that you all see four people, one of whom kind of takes up a lot of space in this alleyway, the Goliath-sized. You don't know if he's a Goliath or not. Very, very tall, very muscular person who you've seen wandering around with these people before. Uh, and the other man, the human-looking man with the long ponytail pulled back, who you all saw just like wreck shop on two of the guards with like a couple hits earlier. He kind of leads this group. Kella and his other friends following behind him. It's a pleasure.
Sorry, friends. There are how many others? Just one,
It's
or
it's Darian. Uh, Hang on. I did not say his name yet. Fuck. I'm gonna cut that out. It is him. It is the Goliath guy, and it is Kella, and it is the Vistani woman that you saw. That is the four that are here right now. Him and his three other friends. It is a pleasure, Darian.
Oxford?
The rest of you.
There's a notable pause as everyone waits to introduce themselves. Pruitt.
All right.
Pride. Terry. Ruby. We've met.
Yes, we have.
Zurel.
Uh, Irina. Irina. Yeah, hi. What? Do you know me or something? I've heard tale. Yeah, I guess you would have. If you've been in Barovia, you probably know who I am to some degree. Did you meet my brother or something? You have a brother? I guess not, then. Not too close to here. So who are you guys? And why are you, like, here? We are... Adventurers is maybe a strong word. We're mercenaries. We were, sent here to collect both intelligence and potentially useful magic items for our benefactor.
Benefactor.
Yes, we, work for a much larger mercenary collection.
I have, in the past, Oxford says, had dealings with the same
Same
group.
group. Yeah, he kind of nods to Kella. She mentioned that. So you've worked with people like us before. That's good. That's a good starting point.
Yes, though I more deal in information.
Intelligence is a good thing to have, and I respect it. Darian Ashbearer is my full name. And it is a pleasure, although we may not run in quite the same circles, to meet all of you. I believe the enemy of my enemy, and Strahd, has presented challenges for us that we weren't otherwise expecting.
So, you're not just for collection, you do stand opposed to Strahd.
Well, we may as well get that dealt with, right?
Two birds.
Two birds, one stone, yeah. It's less of a priority, admittedly. We were sent here for a reason. We'll fulfill that mission. But who's gonna complain about getting some glory in that way, right? There's no harm to be done in dealing with a threat. Looks good on a resume, right?
I suppose, but it sounds like you already have a job.
We do, but moving up in the world is never a bad thing, I think.
I am also a mercenary, but I don't run in the same circles.
No, probably not. We're a little more covert than most groups. We like to kind of keep what we're doing on the down low, hence why we weren't really making a ton of allies while we were here, but running into you all makes things a lot easier, especially, if you're willing to, let us borrow the things that you used to kill him when we're done. You wouldn't be opposed to that, right? All these magic items?
You have to ask her. I point to Arena.
Fuck if I care, yeah, you can take them. I just want this guy dead. Works for us. We've, heard tale of a couple pretty powerful items. The Sun Sword, in particular, is something we are interested in acquiring. Well, good luck. We're looking for the Sun Sword. The people we were hanging out with are looking for the Sun Sword, and you're looking for the Sun Sword. So, got a
Uh,
lot of eyes out for it.
do you want the holy symbol too, or
We'll take anything we can get. Anything useful to us. You all wouldn't happen to know about anything else around here that's, in that kind of vein, would you?
um? Terry says he also has a diary.
A diary. I've assumed there's more to it than that, but I wouldn't know. I don't know if it's magical or just kind of detailed information. You may as well look for it anyway. If it's a good inn, it's a good inn. Insight is always good to have.
Indeed, it is.
It is your specialty, correct?
Yes.
Oxford, yes.
Mhm.
Well, I am amenable to a partnership as long as we can get what we need out of it, and it seems you all feel the same. The rest of my associates, you should probably introduce yourselves. He kind of turns to the other three. Kella, who obviously we have named, but this, just to describe her again, kind of very petite, not quite tiny, but small, not not buff and not as tall as the other woman with the party. Has her hair pulled back in a ponytail. And actually, now that you're all close enough to her, you can see the thing on her back looks like some sort of sniper rifle, some sort of rudimentary sniper rifle, a very long gun. Which is something a lot of you probably haven't had much experience with,
Yeah.
and that kind of gives you a clue as to the kind of technology these people are working with, and the kind of items they might have access to. She kind of looks over you. Kella. Kella Dargope. The other woman kind of raises her hand, kind of a half wave in greeting. Zala. And the very large man, he pulls down his hood for the first time. You can see kind of by his features, he is a Goliath or something in that vein. Maybe half giant, you're not sure. He's a little short for that, but he's a little tall for a Goliath. He's kind of somewhere in that in between height range. Mateo, it's a pleasure, I guess. He's not the most of us. He's probably the least of us inclined to work with others, but he's incredible muscle, so we'll take it.
So you came here willingly? Oxford asks.
We did, yes. Zala is kind of our planar travel expert. She was able to get us here, and she should be able to get us out. If it comes to that, although hopefully we won't need that because we'll be killing the thing keeping us here.
Hopefully, indeed.
If something did come up and we needed to return for our own mission purposes, I hope you'd understand if we did so.
Of course.
But hopefully it won't come to that, and we can resolve things here and move forward in our own separate directions.
So, what is it exactly that you all specialize in a fight or other circumstances?
I am a blood hunter. I have extensive training.
Where were you trained? Pride.
Man, we really don't have a name for the place, do we? The order.
Canonically, where was he trained?
Um, he worked in Waterdeep, which
Yeah.
definitely isn't where Pride was trained. So, one of the larger orders in Waterdeep. I am I specialize in undead, which is useful here.
As do I.
Interesting. Well, I guess that makes us birds of a feather in some regard. I'd be happy to talk tactics anytime. It's something I enjoy doing. Like I said, I have pretty extensive training. Happens when you live a few decades. All of us carry magic weapons, as procured by our benefactors. So, my swords are a little bit higher level than most. Hopefully that doesn't intimidate you all. I have no intention of turning them on you. Not like I did on the guards.
As long as we're on the same page, we're good.
Kella is a sniper. The gun is heavily advanced technology. Guns exist, but most people don't have them like we have them. I have a sidearm too, a pistol. I also have a sidearm. Zala speaks now. Uh, and I am not a blood hunter, but I fight in a very similar style. I use the same weapons as Darian. And like I said, Mateo's our muscle. He swings a glaive like nobody's fucking business. He hits hard, he packs a punch, and he is here to fight. And Zala is under strict instruction to stay out of a fight unless absolutely necessary because she is our out, should we need it. So she probably won't be getting into combat unless it becomes urgent.
All right. Um, we aren't quite that advanced, nor have we really learned to work with each other yet. We didn't come here willingly.
No, I figure most people probably don't. We're probably a pretty high outlier there.
I used one sword instead of two.
I say normally two's better than one, but if you can swing it, it works.
Yes. I consider myself pretty handy with a sword.
Alright.
I am a wizard, though I'm sure you already knew that.
I could have guessed. Most intel specialists have some kind of magic up their sleeves.
As I said, I'm a blood hunter as well.
Yes.
I am learning sorcery.
Not much experience yet?
No, I just recently started.
It's alright. None of our people that are here are casters really anyway, so it's good to have someone like that around. Spell slinging is useful and we don't have much of it. We've got a cleric back on the material plane, but he didn't come with.
I am also a cleric.
May I ask to whom? I won't judge, don't worry.
Two gods.
Two gods.
Asmodeus and Loth.
Hell of a double whammy there. You got a story there.
Yes.
Do I get to hear it?
No.
I will keep that under advisement and try my best not to pry. Admittedly, I'm curious. But if they don't know, I don't imagine I'm going to get the story.
If it becomes relevant, you will know.
Works for me.
I am the sneaky type. Not really an assassin, more an explorer.
Works for me. We got one of those back home too. 6 of us. We're actually looking to recruit a 7th. If any of you ever need a job after this, not you, Oxford. You're a bit higher up than that. I figure. Got your own work, but the rest of you, especially Pruitt, right? You're
Yes.
a mercenary.
Yeah.
Hey, if you're ever looking for work, we'd be happy to pick you up.
I'll keep it in the back of my head. I'm not really one who likes to stick around to any one sort of thing. I've lived in the same area for a vague amount of time, but I don't run with a band of mercenaries per se.
Kind of the wanderer type.
Yeah.
Can't fault you for that. I try not to tie myself down too much. This is about the only unit I work with. I've been burned by that in the past.
So have I.
Guess we have even more in common then. I feel like I can work with you all. I feel like there's work to be done and there's connection to be had, I think. If any of you are looking for work after this, I'm happy to negotiate. Like I said, we're recruiting. If not, I do wish all of you luck. And I guess we should probably get working. Do any of you have any questions for me? Because I'm sure I have questions for you.
I may think about your offer, Tayri says.
Well, I'd be happy to pick you up. Like I said, we've got one caster and it's a cleric. We'd love some sorcery on our side, and maybe a little more healing. The stabbing myself isn't great, so if you know anyone who can do that,
I'm a divine soul.
Oh.
I have some magic for some reason.
For some reason.
Yeah, I never figured out why. There? No, I never figured out why.
Huh. Well, I guess it works. If you can cast Cure Wounds, you're welcome in Hargrove. The Blood Hunter technique takes a lot out of me, as you might be able to guess.
How long have you all worked together?
Some of us longer than others. Mateo and Zala and I have worked together for years. Zala being our newest addition, other than Kella, who has just recently gotten picked up. She's been in our circle for 4 years now. 4, yeah. But we just picked her up last year.
What did you do before?
Mercenary work, but not the same group.
I see.
I've been doing this since I was 14.
Well, credit to you, that's a long time to stick to this.
Everyone else has been doing it a lot longer than I have. I'm a good shot. You're a great shot. You're the best shot I've ever seen. Thanks.
It is a very cool weapon.
Thank you. It's salvage technology, sort of. I helped put it together. I knew. I've actually never held a traditional shooting weapon. I've never held a bow or a crossbow. My family were artificers, or sort of in that vein, tech professionals, and I started tinkering with that sort of thing when I was a kid. I picked up guns, and it's all I've ever used. The pistol was the first thing, but I found I like long range.
Huh.
And it's good to have. It's incredible to have. She is a great shot. Like I said, best shot I've ever seen. She is good at what she does, and we need the long range because so many of us are up close and personal. We need someone to have our backs.
Sounds like a useful person to add.
She was. She's a great pickup.
Any
I'm honestly a little surprised she was willing to work with us in our sector.
any former members?
People come and go. I don't imagine anyone you'd know.
Just curious if you've lost a lot, or
Surprisingly few. Most people who leave separate for their own reasons without getting killed. Like I said, we're pretty covert. We usually hit a job somewhere and don't come back there for a while, so we're hard to track, if anyone did want to track us. We don't lose a lot in combat because we're careful and well-trained.
who is your cleric to?
Gond, god of the forge, god of craft.
I see.
He's not as much of a craftsman as you might expect for that god, but it will make sense if you ever meet him. Just, yeah. You could just tell them. He's an android.
An android.
Yeah. That's a lot of other kinds of things we pick up. We pick up constructs. Some of my, kind of a separate branch of our program, they use these weapons, they use this technology. One of the things they've been working on is constructs that take humanoid forms, and he is one of those. We added him to the team because he, interestingly, was one of the first to ever pick up magic, and especially divine magic.
Huh.
So that was a fascinating pickup, and he's been great at his job.
I guess that does make the choice of God make a lot of sense.
It does, yeah. It works out that way. He's a great guy. He's pretty, he's quiet. Not dissimilar to her. He kind of points at Kella. But we desperately needed the healing, so picked him up. It seems like you guys actually have a pretty solid balance, despite not knowing each other very well.
Yeah, lucky that.
It is. Your party shook out better than ours did at first. A long time ago, it was 2 blood hunters and no healers.
Wow.
So, that was a little bit of a mess.
I can imagine.
We carried around a lot of healing potions back then. Having someone who stays out of the fray is nice, and having healing has been a huge help. So, you guys... I mean, how long have you been here? Not too long, I'd figure.
Has it even been a week yet?
No, it hasn't. You haven't been here a week yet.
Few days?
You seem, well adapted. Well adjusted.
Well, you pick a direction and go, the way I see it.
Fair as anything. Let's say, he clearly is staring at, which of you has the weird stick that you found?
Oh god, who kept it?
I don't remember who kept it. You can just pick someone.
Zerl, I think?
Yeah, okay. What is that?
It's some sort of magic stick.
Huh. Never seen something that looks like that before. It's magic though?
Yeah, it changes.
Changes. In what way?
I'll hand it to Pruitt, I think.
Okay. And it does shift to a degree. It shifts to kind of a size and weight that makes sense. Huh. It's pretty cool. It's doesn't look like it's got much of a bite to it, no blade.
Yeah, we're figuring that out.
Is it supposed to have one? We figured as much. Haven't seen it though. Well, that's your claim. I'm not gonna go picking that off you, but if you ever want someone to study it,
If you have any inkling, I'd love to hear, but
may I? Just for a sec.
sure.
He will take the weapon. When he takes it, it splits into two, like the scimitars, like it did for Pride, which makes sense. Huh? It's pretty cool. No blade though. Still. Huh. He kind of looks at the rest of his group. You guys got any ideas? Mateo does like the shrug emoji gesture. Like, he doesn't know. It's not his
Yeah.
area. It it looks like there should be a blade there. Huh? Yeah, you're right. It looks like something should kind of stick out of it, but it doesn't. Maybe we're missing pieces. Maybe we are.
I'm admittedly curious. What would happen if you gave it to your gunslinger?
Kelly, you want to take a crack at it? She will take it from him. Uh, and it kind of it forms itself. It does kind of extend parts of it, kind of like it did for the staff, the kind of head of the quarterstaff from before. It extends kind of basically what long stick looks like, basically like a sniper rifle shoulder rest, like a shoulder rest for a longer gun. And she kind of sets it on her shoulder, testing it. It's lighter than I expected. It is, yeah. It seems to adjust for that. You guys pick that up?
Yes, we
Hmm.
did.
Interesting. Well, it's neat to have. I wish we could figure out how to actually use it for something.
Yeah.
I guess we'll see on that front.
I'm sure you have questions for us, though.
A great many, actually, yeah. But, more than anything, I just want to get to know you. So, obviously, none of you knew each other before this. What kind of backgrounds do you all come from? Where are you? What led you to what led you here, I guess?
Well, like I said, mercenary. I was kind of born on the streets. Never really knew my family. I
More in common.
assume someone took care of me when I was an infant, but
My parents were not around when I was when I was 5. I don't remember. Long, long time ago.
sorry to hear that. It's not easy.
No, street rats though, right?
Yes, I ran in with many a street rat. I think. Not necessarily with a gang, but
No.
I pick up odd jobs,
Hmm.
adventures, protecting or assaulting something. When I don't have jobs on a call board that can be done by one person, I am more inclined to Robin Hood, such as it were.
I was gonna ask about that. Not your style?
Yeah, hang out by kind of isolated forest paths, look for a fairly gaudy carriage, and take what excess they have and give to not just me, but those who need it.
Those who need it. I can respect that. I would have liked to get into more of that. I did at least get picked up by the Order and then my group, mercenaries as a whole, pretty young. Yeah. Order training started when I was 15, so about a decade after I ended up on the streets, and from there, I trained there for several years and then got picked up.
Is it?
Uh, I actually I had a couple contacts for a while from that order. I referred a couple of people, in fact, someone else that I met on the streets, who was great at what she did, and I regret that we don't still have her around.
Something bad happened?
She and I parted ways on, I guess, less than ideal terms.
I see.
Unfortunately for both of us, I think.
I'm
I think we could have had a great partnership if she'd wanted to stick around.
I'm sorry to hear that.
That's kind of where my I don't like getting too attached. She was one of the first people I felt like I really worked with well, and now I have this, but this is very professional for the most part. We clicked, and I try not to think about it too much.
I'm
You said you kind of had a similar story there, yeah?
not really. I'm not the type to get uh attached. Uh if you look at the role I just made. I not that I've had much experience getting attached.
No? You said you got burned, though, right?
Yeah, I did say that.
I mean, I'm not gonna pry, but you also don't have to lie to me. I feel honesty is a good policy for this whole thing.
I had a girl I liked once. It didn't work out.
No? There a story there, or
Oh, it just didn't work out for lots of reasons. Probably my fault.
I get that. Everybody makes mistakes, though, right? She's still out there somewhere?
She is. She is.
You think she still likes you?
Probably not, no. I actually don't know for a fact she's still out there, but I haven't heard that she's died, and she's about my age and of good health, so.
Well, they say, I don't know. Just sometimes the chase is worth it, right?
Yeah, maybe, but like I said, commitment.
Not planning on going back.
No, no,
Well, I can't blame you for that. Like I said, she and I parted on bad terms. If I saw her again, I'd try to make it right, but
Yeah. Pruitt kind of stares off into space and like rubs a hand down his face, remembering the dream that he
yeah.
had.
Yeah, you sure did have that dream on, buddy.
Yeah.
But, nothing other than that ever?
Can you roll persuasion real quick?
Yeah, natural 20. Yeah, you're gonna be snitching on yourself,
A
huh,
daughter.
bud? A daughter.
Yes.
That's funny. She had a kid.
Oh. Yours or someone else's?
Let's not get into that. I knew her when she was a baby. I haven't seen her in a while, either.
Yeah, I haven't seen.
She took her when she left, obviously.
Yeah. I haven't seen my child since she was an infant, and given what I do,
Oh, you wouldn't really want to put her in that position, would you?
no, she's much better off with him rather than with me.
I definitely get that. I would have liked to have longer with her. She was a sweet kid.
How old is she?
She'd be, oh god, 11 maybe?
I believe mine would be 13?
Not so far apart then, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know you had a kid. I didn't say I had a kid until this conversation.
Not even telling your own party, huh?
Yeah, well,
Me first?
it wasn't relevant.
Well, I'm honored, I guess.
I guess you all get to hear a little bit of my lore, such as it were.
Tragic backstory, right? We
Yeah.
all got something in there. Most people don't take up adventuring without it unless they're like legacy kids.
It's not really tragic. It just, sometimes in life, relationship things don't work out, and I have a kid, but of course she'd be better off with her mom and not someone who is lives in the street and robs for a living.
That's definitely not how I'd want my kids to grow up.
Yeah.
I wish I could have given a better life to them both. I think well, if I see them again, I guess I'll try again. Nothing wrong
Well,
with making amends.
if you are still out there to do better by them, I suppose you're a better man than me.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't put it like that. I don't imagine I'll see them again. Either of them. I've accepted it. But, I do wish things could have stayed that way longer. I liked her. Both of them, I liked them. Like I said, first and maybe only time I've really felt that with someone.
Well, good luck. It's finding that, if you still want it.
Thank you. I feel like I've talked about myself too much.
Oh, I feel like I've done the same.
Well, I guess let's hear about the rest of you then. Who wants to share their sob story next? He kind of laughs.
Not much of a sob story, Oxford says. I have worked with the organization that you all have worked with for since I was a very young woman.
Huh.
Um,
That's a long time, I guess.
my early 20s.
Wow. How
Uh,
long does that make that for you?
that's impolite.
I was trying to say it in a sly way, but I guess if you're gonna call me on it, I won't ask. I won't ask.
Prior to meeting up with them, I was educated, put through both a school of wizardry and a school of academics.
Hmm.
I'm kind of new to the combat side of wizardry. I'm more.
I mean, you said intel, right?
Yes.
Information.
Yes.
That is a very different field. You need very different stuff for that. That's not really my area of expertise. I wouldn't know.
hmm But wealthy parents put through an academy, put into running intel,
Never
and
anything
that's
other than that?
kind of where I've been. Not much personal. I'm kind of like you, except I'm genuinely like you. Never had a relationship or a child.
Not the type?
Oh, just don't have time or really a need for it.
I respect that. I like to think I'll get that back someday, but it doesn't work out for everybody. And if it's not your style, I guess more power to you. It's a risk you don't have to take.
To each their own. Pride kind of says. I was raised in the order, as far as I can remember.
How long was that?
I'm 16.
You look older. You look, I don't know.
I get that a lot sometimes.
Well, that's a long time. I'm sure you had a great deal of training in that time.
I did.
Like I said, I'd love to talk tactics. I'd love to spar. Although I feel like my weapons give me an edge. I could borrow Zala's. Hers aren't magic.
We can see.
Yeah,
Um,
I'd like that sometime.
I am to be the best in my group, my class, such as it were.
The best.
Yes.
How's that? How's that scored?
I'm not familiar with the process they score us on.
Hmm.
More, they tell us how good we do.
And you plan on being at the top of the list?
Yes.
Well, ambition is an incredible thing to have. I respect that, and I think you can do it.
So it is. Very little more to me. I have been in the order, and I was still in the order when I appeared here.
Well, I guess when we kill this guy and you go back, you'll have a hell of a story to tell about being the best.
Yes.
You'll have a hell of an edge.
We hunt the undead, specifically demons. I'm an Asmar, if you couldn't.
I figured, but good to know. Uh, I look human. I am human. Kella's human. Zala's human, but Vistani. I don't know what the fuck Mateo is. I never really asked. Goliath. He's a hell of a tall Goliath, even. I was the big one in the group. So you were. He doesn't talk about it much. I don't need to. No, you don't.
But I guess that's all of my story, Fred says.
I look forward to hearing more of your story when you have more to tell.
Terry now. I am kind of just, my story's not very exciting. Normal girl from a village. I took up an apprenticeship to learn sorcery. I had a bit of natural magic from, again, I don't know what.
Just looked out.
Yeah, and the divine stuff. Some sort of god touched my soul in some way, I guess.
Huh.
And now I am learning to be a sorcerer. I'm not sure I'd want to go back to where I came from, though. I had kind of a falling out with my teacher. It's complicated.
Left on bad terms. Like I have. Well, I guess I've said it enough, but I know the feeling.
Yeah.
I will also be awaiting your progress. I think all of you, especially the younger ones, have a lot to look forward to in terms of training.
Thank you. I guess I should. Yeah, I'm 18.
Yeah.
I'm not much older than Pride.
I didn't figure.
Ruby says, I am. There's not a lot to me.
No?
I just kind of exist.
Not a lot to you, and yet you're a cleric of two of the least desirable gods.
It's complicated. Uh,
And yet you say you're so simple. I'm not gonna pry, I'm just saying. There's a bit of a disparity there.
can you make a persuasion roll?
I would love to have him make a persuasion roll. That would be 16? 17? 17.
Hmm.
Math is hard.
I have just sort of wandered, if that makes sense. I wandered through the Underdark for a time, uh, Daggerford for a time, various other little places here and there.
Not unfamiliar with the concept of wandering. I want to hear that story someday, though. I'll wait, I'm patient.
No, you know what? This is irrelevant. I believe
Okay?
I am not human.
Okay.
So Ruby kind of clasps her hands together, and she changes physically into this very dark-skinned tiefling
Okay.
looking being.
Mm-hmm.
It almost looks like a half between a tiefling and a drow. These notably pointed ears, this very kind of dark skin. Her eyes give a faint glow.
Mm-hmm.
This is a form I used to appear in.
Very, very different.
Yes. Cleric may be a strong word for what I am. Child may be more accurate.
Child of two different gods.
Yes. How the fuck did that happen?
If I may guess,
Please.
I've never met a demigod personally, but I've heard stories, both gods having children with mortals and offshoots of godly power. I would assume, considering that your parents are two gods, you're more of the latter. Some sort of clash between gods, or even between pantheons, leads to a lot of residual magic, and occasionally that springs up some people with some weird power.
Yes. Essentially, yes. My parents had a brief war, and I was the result of that.
That's fascinating, though.
Raised by my father.
Did you grow up in the Hells?
Yes.
Interesting. Never been, personally. Hope I never go. But planar travel, I guess it could happen.
Mm-hmm.
If I need to go down there for something, well, I guess we'll see.
So,
Introduce me sometime. He laughs.
yes, if you'd like to meet my father, I'm sure that could be arranged.
Maybe not. Maybe not.
So,
I'll
wait,
keep that as a joke.
Oxford says. You're a demigod. Yes, I am. So, do you have the power to pull us out of here, or anything like that? No, not exactly. My power is little more than that of a cleric. I am not a full god, I have not ascended to godhood. Uh,
And gods have barely any influence over this place anyway, so I wouldn't imagine you could do anything.
there are occasional bursts of power where I can try to roll the dice and perform a minor miracle, but it's very inconsistent.
All about luck in the moment.
Yes, teleporting across a room is significantly easier than bringing the dead back to life.
Makes as much sense as anything. A bigger miracle takes more work. Well, that is. Genuinely, that is fascinating. I don't study theology as much as I'd like to. I'm big on learning, and if you have any learning to give me, I would always be thrilled to listen. It's something I don't know much about.
My relationship to religion is complicated. Growing up the child of two gods,
Guess it makes things a little personal.
I I'm not anti-religion per se.
Hmm.
Uh, I just think that it is largely the root of some of the evils in the world. A lot of the evils in the world.
I guess that makes a lot of sense, honestly. When people get too into something, it often leads to a kind of blindness to anything else they might do, for better or worse. following gods, especially those that are considered evil. Well, I guess that would do that, wouldn't it?
It would.
You don't seem too evil to me, though.
I'm not evil.
Good, I didn't figure.
Uh, well, I suppose my backstory isn't really as interesting, Zuriel says. I'm just kind of an explorer, a treasure hunter.
Treasure hunter.
Yes, not much family to speak of, not many friends. I just look for powerful magical artifacts, basically.
Well, hey, same here.
Yeah.
At least right now. Definitely not the only thing we do, but this was an important job.
I tend to operate alone, well, just exploring, I guess, and finding what I can.
There is a lot to see in the world. Just on the main material plane, there's a ton to see. Coming places like this, you know. I've seen kinds of magic and worldly effects I never could have expected on the material plane. Just it's so. I mean, it's dark here. It's dark and it's overwhelmingly depressing, but it's fascinating. There's so much that's different here. I don't know if you guys have gotten caught in anything like this yet. There was, while we were traveling, there was this section of the path that just got dark. It was just like everything went dark. I assumed some kind of trick of the magic here. And if we just kept walking, eventually it turned back to normal, but magical darkness just everywhere out of nowhere, and then it faded. I've seen a lot of stuff like that since I got here. It's a little intimidating, a little scary, but I'm a professional.
You see Zuriel kind of grab her head for a second and wince.
You doing alright?
Sorry, yeah.
Got a headache?
Yeah, I'm a Kalishtar.
Huh.
Bound to a spirit.
Something going on there?
We have adversarial, is maybe how you describe a relationship.
Kinda contentious, I get that.
Occasionally she will make noises in my head that I'm not a fan of, and I don't know if I said something wrong or she doesn't like you, but
Well, I'll try to stay on her good side, if that'll keep you away from the headaches.
uh, I say in my head, what is your fucking problem?
You kind of just get like a hissing almost in response. Less of a talking, more of just a feeling of extreme annoyance and anger. You can feel kind of something akin to like it's mostly anger and you feel it directed at you. You also feel kind of just a general sense of uncertainty maybe around this new group of people. Honestly, you think she might be hesitant about them and she's kind of taking it out on you, which is not great of her.
Yeah. She's not trusting as far as I know.
I understand that. It can be hard, especially when you don't have as much connection to the people that your host is spending time around. I get that. You hear another hiss in your head, a very annoyed, like gritted teeth kind of noise.
I hiss back.
You're like cats hissing at each other when you're too close together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am the cat and she is the cucumber. Oh wait, cucumbers don't hiss.
Cucumbers don't hiss, no.
If your cucumber is hissing, go see a doc. Not a doctor.
Go see a produce specialist.
It's kind of like you were gonna say veterinarian.
Vegetable Marion.
Oh.
As you guys are talking, I would like everyone to roll perception for me.
Absolutely.
Please, thank you. I will have Irina and all of your new buddies roll. Irina got a 2, so that's not ideal. That was 3 2s out of 5 rolls, so that's fun. Hope you guys can see more than.
I thought you said percentile.
No, perception. That would be a lot harder to roll 3 2s on, I think. That would be very impressive.
It's gonna be Oxford 10, Pride 11, Pruitt Natural 1,
Okay.
6,
Alright, that's not ideal.
Ruby 12,
Good lord. Everybody rolling bad today.
Terry 20,
Okay, thank god. Somebody's gonna see something, or hear, or whatever else.
Zuriel. Could I argue for advantage? from Kalashtar for reasons, because that is so front forward right now.
Sure, yeah, sure, I'll give you advantage.
25.
Alright, Tayri and Zerl. Uh, you more than hear, more than even see, you smell something in the air. You smell. You know how people can kind of smell heat?
Yeah.
It smells like heat. And after a second, you realize it doesn't just smell like heat; it smells like smoke. And as you kind of you turn your heads to where this scent and this heat is coming from, you see the wall of kind of the far wall. You know, this alley is kind of near a wall, but across the city, kind of off to the west of you, the west wall of the city, you see the wooden barriers of the city and some of the houses on that corner in flames,
Uh,
starting to burn.
that looks bad.
And at this point, kind of all of the rest of you turn. Shit, what is that about?
Is there a fire or?
I have no idea how we'd get one, but we should maybe go check it out. You want to walk into a fire? I want to walk toward the fire. I want to see what caused it.
It might not be a bad idea.
We should evacuate people if we can. I doubt we'll be in trouble for getting out past curfew for saving lives, at least.
From what I've heard about this town, you'd be surprised.
I'm with you, though. I think we should investigate.
Yes, we should.
And all of you kind of you start to, assumedly rather quickly, make your way toward the source of this flame. Uh, as you step into the main street, you see a few guards kind of looking in that direction, not really noticing you. And as you look, you see specifically Tayri and Zerl. I'm just going to use the perception rolls from before. Both of you kind of looking out where you saw it before. You see a figure kind of move out of the smoke, not walking, seemingly floating or flying, away from the direction of the smoke.
A figure.
Yeah, a humanoid maybe in size.
Can we get a better look?
Too far. Too far away to see unless you can catch up to them pretty quickly, which I don't think any of you can.
Yeah.
They're kind of going away from you. You'd have to really sprint to even try to catch them. You can. See if they stop anywhere.
We'll just watch, but not like. Yeah.
So, you gonna keep going in the direction of the fire?
Yes.
Alright. You keep doing that. You kind of walk down this main street as guards are kind of mobilizing. Really, again, not paying any attention to you. People have actually started to emerge from their houses to see what the kind of the fuss is about. One of the few times that curfew might be okay to be broken is if your entire town is about to be on fire.
Yeah.
This fire starts to catch other houses, kind of the wood and the kind of the material used to build the roofs here. It is all starting to slowly but surely spread. These little licks of flame reaching other houses and catching on the corners and starting to burn. And the smell of burning wood now has started to reach you, not just smoke, but the actual burning material. You're close enough by the time you get to where you're going to feel the heat kind of radiating off this back wall, and because there's so much fire, it's very hot, just being near it. And as you arrive, as you get close enough to see, you see basically what looks like a hole blown in the top of this back wall, like the top middle of this back wall. And fire seeping through it and licking out. The wall is kind of spreading the fire there, and this, whatever bursts through this, it could have been like a siege weapon for all you can tell. Not that there seems to be anything on the other side of the wall. Burst through this wall, and basically spread, and is continuing to spread. And there's probably not much to be done about it. The only thing that might save this place is if the fire can be stopped before it gets to other parts of the wall, because otherwise it will spread across streets. As you were standing there, kind of examining this, Darian kind of pivots, as he seems to be following something's movement. There. And I assume all of you kind of...
Yes.
All of his group raise their weapons, just kind of instinctively following his instruction. He pulls his own swords out. And you see, again, that figure that first Tayri and Zerl saw, now all of you are seeing. land on top of a building, and before any of you can react, before any of you can move to cast or shoot or anything, you see a ball of fire erupt from their hands, and you see another section of the city start to burn. And that is where we're going to call this session.
Thank you for watching this video from College of Lore. Remember to like this video, subscribe to join the party, and have a fantastic adventure.